Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Focus on Liberia. My name is Dennis Jai, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight, our program, we are focusing in commemoration of Liberia's Flag Day, which comes on August 24. We'll be discussing the topic, or I have some distinguished personalities, mainly Liberian students, university students, who will be discussing with me what the flag of Liberia means to them. Each individual will be presenting what exactly the flag of Liberia means to them. With me to discuss this topic, I have all the way from Morocco, a Liberian student studying in Morocco, Youben Amambe Wilsitoe. Youben, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jack.
All right. And what's the city? It's not Rabat, right?
No, it's Rabat. It's Rabat.
Oh, you are in Rabat, Morocco.
Yes.
Also, we have Mr. John Silis Singbae II, who's also joining us from Morocco. John, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Jad. Thank you to the many Liberians as you.
We also have joining us from Ohio. She has just arrived in the States from Liberia. Satta Sherif. Satta, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Satta, your audio is not on. And we are waiting for one more college student from Liberia. That's the poet, Beulah Nimene, who's going to be joining us from Liberia. Beulah is having some technical difficulties. I believe she's either in Monrovia or in Banga. We are expecting Beulah to join us. I want to welcome all our folks all across the globe. This is Focus on Liberia. Again, this is our Flag Day edition. We want to commemorate Liberia's Flag Day. And with this, we want to be discussing the flag of Liberia. We are having a connection issue also with our guest, that's Satta Sherif. But in the meantime, while we wait for Satta and Beulah, we're going to be commencing the show. From our grade school, we learned that the flag of Liberia, what it represents, that's the symbol of the country, is a rectangular in shape, and it contains 11 horizontal stripes, which alternate red and white. The flag, it features a blue field and a blue field representing the, according to them, the dark continent of Africa. And we have the white star, which stands for the first independent republic, that's Liberia. That's our Lone Star. The flag was officially hoisted on August 24, that's in 1847. Upon right after independence in July, there was the flag. We have the red stripes, the white, and all these things are symbols. According to our history, the red stripe in Liberia flag is symbolize courage, while the white represent moral excellence or purity, as they were saying. The 11 stripes represent the 11 signers of the Declaration of Independence at that time, and that's why we have the 11 stripes. So we know all that by the flag, but there has been some things, the flag of any nation, having a flag dates back years ago, and so as a form of convention, every country has a flag, and the flag represents not just the country, the geographical location, but also the people. But the Liberian flag, or flag in general, especially the Liberian flag, mean different things to different people. So I have invited these young people so that we can have a chat, and we want to welcome all those on the social media to join the discussion with us. Later, we're going to be posting our number to call. All right. So let me start by way of introduction. This is our guest, Youben Amame Wilsitoe. She's 19 years old. She completed senior high school at Rick's Institute in 2016, and now she's pursuing higher education in Morocco in the field of medicine. She's been member of the Liberian national debate team since 2016 and have represented the nation in numerous international debate tournaments. She believes in being the change, and this is a direct quote, "I believe in being the change I want to see, and that's what drives me to be a better person in society." Youben, welcome to Focus on Liberia. We are so glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Focus. Thank you.
The next on the list is Satta. Satta, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's Satta Sherif, and you are in Ohio. You came to the United States not too long ago, right?
Yep.
All right. So Satta Sherif is a founder of the Youth in Action for Peace and Empowerment. That's a children and youth-driven NGO founded to advocate, empower, and preach peace for human rights and other vulnerable groups in Liberia. She's also a founding member of the Global Youth Leadership Council and a recognized member of the 50 Most Important Young Females Leaders in Africa 2017. Satta is also a peace ambassador of One Young World and the brand ambassador of Change for Youth for Change Incorporated, the National Debate Championship in Liberia. At age 16, Satta was elected first female speaker of the Liberia Children's Parliament. In 2016, she co-founded the Joint Action Committee on Children, a national forceful and proactive advocacy group aimed at investigating and demanding concert actions and steps to restore social justice for all children. Also in that year, Satta was awarded the most influential teen award in Liberia as Diana Princess of Wales active campaigner. Hey, Sherif, we are so glad to have you.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here today. And hello to Youben, John, Beulah, if you are there, and the rest of the other guys. And if you are live, hello. I'm excited to be here.
And Satta, you are in, you just came to Ohio. What are you doing there?
So in Ohio, Springfield, and I'm at Wittenberg University. I came to start my bachelor's degree. To go to school. Yay.
Thank you. We are so fortunate to have you. And we are waiting for one more of our guests. But in the meantime, we have the only male among our guests today, Mr. John Sele Singbae II. John, welcome to Focus on Liberia. John
Thank you, Mr. John. Pleasure.
Thank you. And John is joining us from Morocco too, where he's currently studying. John was born on November 20, 1997, into the union of Reverend J. Sele Singbae Sr. and Mrs. Fatou D. Singbae in Kakata, Mangibi County. He's an international scholar and national debate and a columnist. John, you big male. John graduated from the Bethesda Christian Mission School in Painesville, Monterey County. Later, he enrolled at the African Methodist Episcopal Zion University. Simultaneously, he also studied history and political science at the University of Liberia. John he won a government-sponsored scholarship and currently studying law at the popular Kad Ayid University in Marrakech, Morocco. He's also part of he was part of the National Debate Championship, where he won many awards and had so many accolades. The National Debate Supervisor, he's a lecturer at the Education Empowerment Hub, also an adjudicator at the debate that was held, debate championship in Botswana. He's the winner of the Liberia Young Excellence Award in 2018, the most valuable player for Liberia National High School Debate. He won the Best Historian Award, the valedictorian award. He became the valedictorian of the graduating class of Bethesda Christian Mission for 2016-2017. He was also the student council president there, and and also captain of the debate team at the school, Bethesda Christian Mission there in Painesville, Montserrado County. John, once again, welcome to Focus on Liberia. John, your audio is a little bit.
Thank you so much. I'm humble. You getting me now?
Yeah.
I'm back. Hi, guys.
All right. Now
Hello,
we have last but not the least, our guest is Beulah Nimene. I hope Beulah will be reading one of our poems to us tonight. But
Wow.
no, I won't put you on the spot, Beulah. Beulah Nimene, a poet and a writer, is a second-year student at Cottington University, majoring economics. She volunteers with Youth for Change, serving as a mentor. In 2017, she developed a financial aid program for underprivileged children through the Nimene Foundation. She goes by the saying, "We live our lives to impact others." Therefore, she's using poetry to impact the lives of those around her. Beulah, welcome to Focus on Liberia. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor.
And where are you calling? Which part of Liberia are you calling from currently? Beulah, where are you?
At Oro,
Oh,
from
okay.
Monroville.
You go
Monserrado.
Monserrado.
I'm in Monroville, Old Road.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
You
going
go-
to Banga next month.
Oh, okay. Good. I mean, I'm so excited to have all of you. Let's just start. Just basically, just let me hear anything about you that I didn't mention in your profile. Just one or two words to our audience and just say something brief about yourself. Let me start with you, Beulah.
I guess you mentioned almost everything in my profile. I'm a writer. I volunteer with Youth for Change
Okay.
since 2017 when I won the most eloquent speaker of the Liberia National High School Debates Tournament. I excel whenever I can.
Thank you, Beulah. We having
you
some
too.
connection issue, but we want to hear from you. Get one of your poems ready because I watch you on TV and I was inspired, So I just want our audience to get a little bit of that. Let me go to you, Satta, Sherif. There's a lot of awards you won, and now you are here. Anything else you want to say about yourself and just greet our audience tonight?
So basically, I must say I'm excited to be on this panel, and this is not about awards and stuff. As long as about Liberia, I'm still a young person, and I feel like I'm still learning. I'm in like a learning stage, and whatever opportunity I've had, maybe to come to the US for school or having an opportunity to attend events and stuff, it's because a lot of people are like investing in me, like the Youth for Change and some other Liberians in Liberia that are mentoring me and stuff like that. So I owe it all to them, especially the team that I work with at which is Action for Justice and Human Rights right now. So, I mean, it's cool to be here, and basically I'm an activist. I used to be at the Liberian Children's Parliament, where I serve as Speaker of the Liberian Children's Parliament. Right now I'm an adult, and I'm still involved in human rights activities, and so it's cool to talk about issues affecting Liberia. Whatever I am, I'm still a Liberian. You can see all over my face, but yeah. That's just a little short, summary about me.
Thank you, Satta. We are so happy to have you. John?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Jardine, for the opportunity and to our viewers. So thank you. You said almost all, and like Socrates said, all I know is that I know nothing. So we will try our best to give our own understanding of our flag and other issues. And we are still in the process of learning, and we want to appreciate all the Liberians who've been mentoring us along the way, especially the Youth for Change, all of our friends and supporters who are green. So thank you once more.
What's up with that hairstyle? Looking like Patrick Lumumba.
Yeah. I'm very passionate about Lumumba, so I took 3 months to just show the world what Lumumba looked like.
He's
He
a
was
huge
the
fan, Patrick.
all of my friends told me, and I think that there was one of Lumumba who fought for the
Take it
independence.
out, Baba.
So it's just a tribute to Lumumba as a tribute.
Yeah, looking great, John. Youben.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, basically, are you getting me? Are you
Yeah.
getting me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've said practically everything about me. I see myself as just, another human being. But my dream is to help other Liberians become better versions of themselves. And most Africans, we are just good at identifying problems, but then we don't bring anything to the table to help solve those problems. So I think that we should try to do away with, and and actually bring up effective methods to help solve problems. And I mean, like, in any way that I can impact other people, I'm always willing to help out people, basically. But I'm happy to be on the show, and it's a great honor. Thank you very much for bringing us here.
Thank you, and I must appreciate Youth for Change through its leader, Mr. Alex Divine, who made the connections to have all you brilliant and talented young people on the show so that we can talk about our Liberian flag. So we all know the flag, and we say, well, the flag means some different things to different people. So let's get the ball rolling. Let me start with you. Beulah left. I was going to call Beulah. So let me go to you, Youben. What does the flag of Liberia mean to you? What does the flag of Liberia mean to you?
Okay. As a country, and as an individual, I see the flag as a representation of the country, as something that signifies what it means to be a Liberian. But now, Mr. Ja, I just want to take this focus from what does the flag mean to me as a person, and let's look at it from a different perspective. Because we all know that most people, if you ask many Liberians, they'll tell you today that the flag means nothing to them as indigenous Liberians. They feel like let's go back to a little bit of history lesson. So we know that the American Liberians and a lot of people, free slaves who came to Liberia, those are people who left from America and the Caribbean as well. And when they came and settled in Liberia, when they crafted the flag and everything, they did not think about the indigenous Liberians. I mean, they were not inclusive in that process of creating the flag. It was based on the American Liberians who came and settled in Liberia, that because they had a sense of belonging to the United States, so they made the flag, like copied, I would like to use the word copy, to copy the flag of the United States. Now, if you look at me as an indigenous Liberian, I don't have a sense of belonging to the flag of Liberia, because I feel like it doesn't tell a story about me. It tells a story of people who came from America, free slaves who came from America and that of the Caribbean and settled into Liberia. Now, that is a problem that has been in the past. And as I said earlier, I am a person who would like to bring solutions to problems and not just finding the problems. Now, the fact that the flag was created without my purpose as an indigenous Liberian, let's look at what happened, what did the American Liberians do to educate the people of Liberia, the indigenous Liberians, on the significance of the flag. I can tell you for a fact, in Liberia, if a school was having devotion and they were hosting a flag and someone else was passing by, if you told that person that, hey, they are posting a flag, the person will be like, so what should I do about it? Like, it has nothing on me. I have to go do other things. That simply depicts that the person does not have a sense of belonging to the flag of Liberia. That's because the American Liberians did not educate the people on the significance of the flag. Now, as an indigenous Liberian, if I don't have a sense of belonging to the flag of Liberia, I feel like it's nothing to me. It's just a common representation of the country. And even though I am a citizen of the country, it represents the American Liberians, it represents the elite class, and it does not have any representation of me. So I do not value it. Now, I think in my own mind, that is the main focus of most of the problems in Liberia, where people don't have a sense of patriotism to the country because they feel like they were left out of the entire decision making of the flag. And let's look at our schools today in Liberia. A lot of kids, a lot of children, a lot of people in Liberia do not have a clear understanding of what the flag signifies. And someone might argue with me and say, because people know how to say the pledge of allegiance, people know how to sing the national anthem. And I can say, knowing how to say the pledge or singing the national anthem, it does not in any way guarantee that you have a clearer understanding of what it depicts. That is one fact. People do not understand what the red in that flag means, what the courage that we talk about. They don't understand it. They don't understand the white that we talk, the white in the flag that is about war excellence. They don't understand. So as a result of that, people don't have a sense of belonging to the country. And how can we remedy that problem?
Right.
So the problem is, if you ask every indigenous Liberian, they will tell you that they don't have a sense of belonging to the flag of Liberia. And that is a problem. That is something that has been something I would not do anything. For instance, let's look at a typical example of me being a Christian. I didn't choose to be a Christian. I was born into a Christian home, and my parents told me that, okay, this is the best way, this is the best religion that you have to follow. This is the true religion, right? I hope you're getting my point. So
Right.
now I listen to them because they are my parents. They instilled into my mind, they teach me, and I follow them. And when you ask me, I say, okay, I am a Christian because I grew up that way, and my parents brought me up in that religion. Well, guess what makes the difference? They gave me a clearer picture of what Christianity is. They taught me over the years how to read my Bible and to understand and how to have a personal relationship with Christ. That makes me a better Christian because now I can stand up for myself and fully understand the idea of Christianity. But that is not the case of Liberia. We all grew up with that flag, like, okay, that's the flag of Liberia. That's
Youben,
Yes,
you
sir.
cover so many ground. We'll come to you. We'll come back to you. You stated, and I like that. I'm warm up, and John can't wait to jump in. Let me go to Beulah. We are having some issue with our connection, so let's Beulah come in with a first to explain to us, by our audience, what the flag of Liberia means to her. Beulah. Beulah, can you hear me?
First of all, I asked people what the flag meant to. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Great.
Are you hearing me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. Can I continue now?
Yes.
Yes, Beulah.
Okay. So I had a discussion with a few people about what the flag meant to them. Our country of Liberia, which means that we're independent, our uniqueness as a nation. I got another definition of the flag, of the representation of every symbol on the flag and the star. But as has been, what's in common, and that is the symbol. The symbol is a symbol is a representation of a particular thing. So it means the flag is a representation of Liberia. And if what a flag represents is not important, then it means the flag itself is a piece of cloth. The only reason why you see people in America or other countries would die for their flags is because they are saying in their hearts that they would die for their nation. They are not saying that they would die for the piece of cloth that fell on the ground or the piece of cloth that hangs on the pole. Right? So I'm trying to say it's Liberia, and for me, I believe that the flag is in relation with Liberia. And the problem here is a lot of people give different definitions. If the flag represents Liberia, then everybody should be in one accord with that particular definition. I don't believe in the American Liberians, native Liberians kind of thing. I believe that if the flag represents Liberia, we should all believe in that flag, because as people, we should believe that the flag is Liberia itself, and we need to appreciate our symbols. Why do we appreciate the symbol of the flag? Is one, because it tells us where we are from, where we are now, and where we are going. The only reason people do not appreciate the flag is because literally they do not. And important should be taught at home, right? The family is the first place where we are taught how to live, and the first place we come in contact with humans. But and to top it all off, the subject that should be teaching us the importance of this flag is not even taught in schools anymore. Civics is not being taught in school anymore. And even the worst part here is the flag celebrated. So whether or not, from me, the flag was developed by American Liberians or Liberian natives, the fact that it represents Liberia, we should all believe in Liberia and in her flag and in the symbol of Liberia. For example, now, the flag links not just to Liberia, but to the constitutions, right? It tells us that we should be patriotic citizens. It tells us that we should stop corruption. It's a system that we need to follow, right? So if you don't believe in the flag, then you don't believe in the system of Liberia. This is why people have a system. So when somebody says Liberia is something that we follow as Liberians, that's not something that we believe in. We don't have a specific culture that we say, yeah, this is one thing that Liberians stand for and one thing that Liberians believe in. So I believe that if we want Liberia to go forward, we respect every symbol that she possesses. And the flag is one of the cardinal symbols in Liberia. So I believe that, for me, the flag of Liberia represents Liberia, but it's just a mere cloth if Liberia is not being upheld, or if her people are not being patriotic as they should be. That's what I think.
Mr. Jack, can I just chirp in a little bit? For
Thank you. You will come in. you will go by. Let's finish with everybody one round. Okay. Let me go to you, John. The flag of Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Ja, and thank you to the beautiful sisters. I want to say that I partly disagree with their premises, but in some sense, I agree with that conclusion. So let me preface my argument and my own introduction on the fact that the point made by Sister is a very important point when she spoke about the issue about inclusion. The inclusion of the old age problem we've had in this country of those who came to Liberia and American Liberians and the native they met here. And over a period of time, many Liberians, progressive Liberians, have argued that these symbols that we had did not include or have not included the native people. These symbols are only representation of those who came to Liberia, those who repatriated from America to seek greener pasture. evidence of that is the motto of Liberia, the love of liberty brought us here. Many people have argued that the love of liberty brought us here is not a reconciliatory motto for our country because there were people that love of liberty led here. So many people have argued these things. And to what Mr. Wilsitoe said, and there has been a long argument, and I can remember historically in July 22nd, 1974, President Beulah Talbot and was commissioned by the national legislature and they acted an act into law, and that act articulated that every Liberian symbols, including the flag of Liberia, should be reviewed by a commission so as to include those who claim they were disenchanted at the time, the native people. So there was a commission set, and historically this commission was headed by the postmaster and Kinley Dishu, who headed that commission. So what she said, there's been such problem, and I think they have been finding a way to solve this problem. But here's where I come in. The flag that we have as the county's flag, or the 15 counties of Liberia, I don't think these flags were also brought by American Liberians. These flags that were made in Liberia at a point in time when the natives themselves were governing their own affairs, and at a point in time where the symbols that you have in this flag, they are indicative of what the country represents. For example, you see the flag of local country, you see your hand holding a stick, and it has its own interpretation to the people. Or how many of the people from these countries really value the flag? So for me, I will not like to preface the arguments on the part of the Congo and native divide. Yes, indeed, I agree that such divide existed and we still have a problem in our society. But the major thing I would like to address here in my argument is the fact that we have not made celebrating national symbol a part of our culture. What do I mean? I will give one scenario and then I will draw my conclusion. Let me bring you to this discussion, the case of the Spartan. People who read history and Greek methodology, you heard about the Spartan. A lot of us, we read the Spartan movie, we were really inspired by their culture and other stuff. If you read the Spartan, the history and civilization of Sparta, you get to understand that there were certain things that were established, and there were certain things that every child that grew in Sparta had part of them as a culture. And if you read, it will tell you at age 7, a child in Sparta is to go for a feast, traditional feast, or a traditional period of preparation to join the military called Agodi. Every kid in that country grew in that tradition, and they built that civilization on the fact that their children were taught the civilization, the values of Sparta at a very early age. So they succeeded in inculcating these values into their children. So in the end, every child that was born in Sparta couldn't deviate from what Sparta represented at the time. What is the relation of this to our debate? In Liberia today, many young people, especially people who were born in the early 90s, 1997, 1998, during the period of the Civil War from 1989, don't have a sense of understanding or don't have any understanding of what the Liberian flag means to them. And this is because when people say the education system is a mess, they are not referring to going to school. They are referring to our system of education. And this involves how we grew from homes. Many of us who today were born in the 90s, the 80s, we were not taught these things from a very early stage. We grew in home where we just grew up, and what our interpretation of the flag was just that this flag was made to represent this. These were the people who made this flag, and this flag is for this. And it's phenomenal that every country should have a flag. But more beyond that, what is the meaning of this flag to us? So for a child to understand that, I think every parent or every guardian should find themselves guilty for the fact that they have not taught their children what the meaning, what this flag means to us. In the United States and in other settlements, other civilizations around the world, children at very, very young age, they are taught about the flag. And it's because of the training they receive at a very early age that they try to value the flag, because their parents have already told them, because like one of the scriptures in the Bible said, train up your child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will never depart from it. So they were trained in such a way to respect the Liberian flag and to respect their own flag. And respect to flag is not only a respect to a piece of cloth, it's a respect to what that flag represents. And once you have an understanding of what the flag represents, definitely you are going to uphold these values. And that's where Beulah talk about corruption, other stuff. When you have allegiance to the flag of Liberia, you are pledging your allegiance to the republic for which it stands. And definitely you will not do anything that contravenes the representation of our country. You will not do anything that undermines our country. You will not do anything that is detrimental for the nation. So more beyond just knowing this historical fact and talking about the Congo-related divide, we also have to put ourselves in the position to understand and to evaluate critically if kids today are being taught the importance of the flag. Those of us who were born in 1989, all we saw was violence. If you were born in 1996, at this point in time, you should be 23 years. During that period, you know very well we had civil mobility in our country. Our country history, the first Liberian Civil War from 1989 to 1996. So during this period, and most of those who today are parents, most of those who today are around their 30s and 31 and 29, they are parents today. What have they taught their children? These are people who just became parents out of the situation that we had in our country. And because of that, children that were born in such an environment did not have the opportunity to understand really what the flag of Liberia is actually. So that's the only problem with them. Yes.
Yeah, so to you, what does it mean? What does the flag represent to you?
For me, personally, I'm not just looking at myself as John because I will have some opportunity to read history and to evaluate myself, but I'm looking at a generation that represents. So my generation, the generation of Liberians that just spoke about and categorized, to us, the flag of Liberia means nothing. And it's only because of our upbringing. The flag of Liberia means nothing to us. To my generation, it means nothing. It's only because of our upbringing, because our parents and guardians fail to inculcate in us the culture to respect and value our flag. Because when we start to respect our flag, we are not pledging allegiance to a piece of cloth. It's an allegiance that we pledge to upholding the peace and building a nation. So some of us today, many of the young people today, the flag means nothing. So I think we have to find a remedy for this problem. I think the best thing is that we as parents should find ourselves guilty. We are and teachers and every part of our society, we should find ourselves guilty, and we should see a way how we can make teaching our children allegiance to the nation and respect for national symbol a culture in our society.
Thank you, John. Let me go to Satta Sherif. But if you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are discussing the flag of Liberia. What does it mean to me as a citizen of that country? My guest, Youben Wilsitoe, who will joining us from Rabat, Morocco. John Singbae II, who's also joining us from Morocco. We have Satta Sherif, who is joining us from Ohio. Satta, let me come to you. What does the flag of Liberia mean to you?
So basically, a father or from Beulah to Youben and John. For me personally, the flag means a lot to me. The flag of Liberia symbolizes courage. It's like whenever I see the flag, I feel like Liberia is an independent state because every nation has like a flag. It's like a freedom for me. It gives me hope for the future, and it reminds me that, you know, about the battle that was fought in Liberia before we got our independence, from the little being affairs, you know, to raging war on other countries that, you know, we couldn't be compared to, but to it all as a little, you know, nation, but then we fought it, and so now we have like a flag. And I don't want to consider myself like, I mean, from both sides, like Youben would say, indigenous people or the American Liberians. I wouldn't want to consider myself an American Liberian or an indigenous person or Congo or whatever. These are really divisive statements. And when people tend to make these statements, at the end of the day, people tend to leave they feel like they are left out of, when it comes to what we call Liberians. Some people feel that they are more Liberian than the other. You sit in car and hear people make statements like, Mandingo people should go back to where they come from. It's all attached to this conversation about, we feel like the love of liberty brought us here. If you were to look at the history of Liberia from how people came into Liberia, almost all the tribes in Liberia somehow migrated to Liberia. If you were to look at the Pele, from Gola, from the Gola language to the Kisi to the Bassa, they all came from somewhere. And the Pele people, they migrated from, the immigrants from Mali include Pele, the Gio, the Mano, Madingo, Ba tribes, and all these other tribes. Somehow we, one way or the other, went to Liberia as a safe space for Black people, because in America, but then there was racism, there were all these things. So for me, in as much as we start thinking the flag is divisive because it has, I will still talk about the love of liberty brought us here, then we again, it's sending out that message to the next generation of Liberians that there are few people in Liberia that are more Liberian than the other. And I feel as young people, as informed as we are, we should be the ones setting examples and creating awareness and saying to other people that no matter who you are, whether you are Mandingo, Ba, and whoever you are, like me, Va, I should be saying I'm more Liberian than the other because the Va script was created all the way in it was a very long time, 1820, which was before the independence of Liberia. Ba people were existing. And Congo, Mandingo, there are a few, Sao Boso that bought the land from all these conversations. These are really divisive things. And I don't want to say Youben would say, some people feel left out. I feel like if you want to consider yourself less Liberian than the other, it's really sad because everybody in Liberia are Liberians. One way or the other, we all migrated and the love of liberty brought us there because we wanted a free space, somewhere that would, freedom, we wanted food. Everybody, almost all the tribe got reasons why they were there. Even somehow would say, the Bagbo and the whatever people, somehow, but then there were people moving around looking for food and all that. So the flag means a lot, and I think we should stop saying that, the other tribe in Liberia feel left out. We should start creating more awareness because we fought for this space. If you look at what the flag means, from red to the blood shell to being the first continent, country on Africa and all that, and right now we are not even being recognized. If you were to Google Liberia, if you were to Google on the map and say first independent state in Africa, they will go to Ethiopia and other countries, and they will even some other places you should see Liberia, you see Ghana and the rest of it. We as Liberians, I feel like we should be thinking the song or other people would tell our story so differently, and the rebranding process of Liberia will not work. Just Google the country simply because we're having some of these conversations and saying one Liberia is more better than the other. So yeah, the flag means freedom, courage, hope, independence, and for me, it makes me feel very proud. Wherever I go, I'm proud to show Liberia because the ATS, one way or the other, that's why we copied the flag of the United States with less scraps and all that. And I don't have a problem with it, because of what happened. I don't have a problem. The flag means a lot. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Youben, you wanted to come in. You say, let me hear what you say, because you see that a good number of the panelists don't agree with you when you say certain people were left out.
They all ganging up on me because I think it's a
Nah, we're not ganging up on
Nobody
you.
ganging up on you, sis.
Sister
Nobody
is
ganging up on
ganging
you.
up on you,
It's
Youben.
I feel like,
misunderstanding. Okay,
I
All
let's
feel
right,
not
like,
get
all right.
let's not get my opening statement twisted, right? The reason that was a basis that I was laying, because the thing is that's the fact that exists. And my point is we cannot dwell on the past. We cannot base on that and say because certain people were left out, so we shouldn't, own up to the flag. That's my point. I was saying that it is because of that situation that a lot of Liberians do not own up to the flag as or how do you call it, as a sense of belonging to a country. Now, Beulah made a very a salient point when she said that as Liberians, we have to appreciate the flag. This brings me to what I was saying from the very beginning. How can we appreciate the flag if we don't have a clear picture of what it takes? We don't have a clear understanding of what it means to us. Now, all through my year, the 15 years I spent from kindergarten up to high school and then graduation, I did not in a single day do service. I do not have a clear understanding of how you
I
call
just
it.
said it. You should blame your school.
No, okay, that's the point. Exactly.
And the system, we the Liberians are the system, Youben. You and me, we make the system.
Hold on, Satta.
It is exactly my point. It is exactly my point. There should be a better system put in place because you blame that on the school, you blame that on the parents, you blame that on the environment. If I grew up as a child and whenever I went to school and there was a clear teaching to help me understand what the flag means to me as a Liberian, and my parents were also teaching me that, and also that of this the environment, the society. When I grow up, I will have a better sense of understanding of what the flag means. Now, my point is not because of people being left out or because of other situations. My point is there should be a reform. And Beulah was saying in her statement that if civics is no longer being taught in school, even if some schools are still teaching it, it is not as it should
there
be.
are not schools that teaching civics.
It is not as it should be. See, my point is, Beulah, hold on a little bit,
Hold on, Beulah. Let Youben finish.
We all have a sense of loyalty to Liberia and not the piece of cloth. Notwithstanding, the piece of cloth represents us as Liberians. So we should understand better the Ghanaians. They understand what their flag means to them as a nation. They understand what the flag means to them as a people. Therefore, they how you call it, they have a sense of patriotism to their country. Because from the very time they were little, I remember in my ROTC class, my teacher told me that the reason that we sing the national anthem and the reason that we say the pledge is to instill into the minds of pupils so that they understand what the flag means and what the country means to them. But my thing is, knowing how to recite the national anthem or the pledge, it doesn't guarantee that you have a clearer understanding of what the flag or the country depicts to you as a citizen. So there should be in the policy, in the way the civics education is being taught so that people can understand better. That is my point.
All right. Youben, before you conclude, so the premise you laid that the flag is not inclusive of all Liberians. So are you saying it's inclusive now or it's still not inclusive? Or you are saying even though it's not inclusive, let's manage. Is that what I'm hearing?
So I am saying, even though it is not inclusive, it was not inclusive of everybody from the very beginning, but it has become a national symbol. So then we have to do away with that idea of it not being inclusive, but rather educate the people of the significance of the flag, so that they have.
It didn't include everyone.
And when I say it didn't include everyone back then. The flag was designed by the American Liberians who came to Liberia. They
No.
Satta, those were seamstresses who they
Okay,
had
listen, please.
I don't want to dwell on that.
No, it's important because if you say that American Liberians need design the flag or whatever the flag, we gotta be clear on this one because there are a lot of people listening and they will feel like, oh yes, the flag was just designed by few American Liberians and the indigenous people were left out of the system. And I'm sure that team was not just few people saying that this was inclusive, and you have people like you had the Va tribe, you had Bele, everyone was on board. So if it was not inclusive, I
What
think
do you mean by
it would have
What do
been
you
a
mean by
problem back then.
All right. Okay. Let's establish this because the flag. It took
Mr.
time.
John, let me.
Hold on. It took some time before even the native Liberians were citizens.
Yes, yes. It was in 1904 before indigenous people became, like full citizens because of the same conversations we're having. Few people who came and felt like they were more Liberian than the other group of people.
That's the point.
Right now.
So are you saying, or Satta, that from the beginning, the flag was designed and it represented both native and ex-slaves from the beginning? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like the flag was inclusive because if the flag was not like designed by people who were native, or whatever, that's why I'm trying to confirm. I want to be more informed before I say it.
Okay.
To know the list, whether indigenous people. How do I call this? People who were underground. Maybe John can continue until
okay. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Okay, thank you. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm a panelist, but I'm enjoying the conversation with females. It's actually great. But let me provide my historical expertise, and let me provide my historical expertise.
Hello.
The issue of I partly agree with both Satta and Youben, but let me establish that the flag of Liberia at the beginning of the design of the flag, they were not the inclusivity that we are debating of native people. Let us get that clear. The 7 ladies that designed the flag, they were all from the United States of America. Susanna Louise, Medela Nipo, J.B. Rosborn, Mary Hunter, Sarah Draper, Olita Teach, and Richard Johnson. Majority of them were from Baltimore, and some of them were from other states. That should be established. So they were not native Liberians. But what I want to
But there were Liberians that migrated to this page. My point is, almost all the people in Liberia migrated. Yeah. So who is more?
Let me conclude.
Hold on, Satta.
Let me conclude. Satta, if we keep establishing this historical evidence, we will not inform our audience actually for the reason we are here. What I'm saying here is that no one is going to deny the fact that there has been a problem of native people complaining of being they are not inclusive in our national symbol. That was a problem that was established, and this is why in my premise of the argument, at the nitty-gritty of my argument, I told you and our listeners here that there was a committee that was set up by President Fabot to review all national symbols because of the complaints that came from native people when they complained they were not included. That committee was set up, it was enacted, the legislature at the time, it was July 22nd, 1974. And that committee was headed by Postmaster McKinley the Chief. So all of what we are saying here, it has been a problem for a very long time. And natives have complained of not being included, and they've had a very solid point because of all of these symbols. But what I want to agree with you on that moving forward, we should not premise our argument on the fact that people were not included, certain people are like Liberian, like you said, it's a divisive divide. And we don't want to use the Congo and the divide and other things. What we want to say here is that moving forward, how can we get this flag to matter to every Liberian? And let us forget about who is native, who is Congo, who is American Liberian, who is Java Liberian. No. How can this flag matter to everyone? Because a flag should be a national symbol that should serve as a means of unifying an entire country. So be a Va person, a Mandingo person,
and John,
wherever you are from,
John,
that symbol should bring us together as one.
John, I want to bring Beulah in.
Problem,
but I just want to say that's Youben's point, because in order for it to matter to everybody, it should be inclusive of everyone. So if you are saying that it's already inclusive, I'm not arguing with that. But I don't think you should dismiss the inclusiveness part of
No,
it.
I'm not saying it's
No, we're
inclusive.
not discussing being inclusive. We are not
saying-
discussing that. That is
I'm
not the
saying that we should not discredit the part of the matter. The flag, I'm coming. We are not discussing the flag being inclusive or not inclusive, because I established at the very beginning of this argument, that there have been complaints, legitimate concerns that this flag is not inclusive. We cannot debate that. The legislature of the Republic of Liberia established that. We cannot debate that. There's been complaints that our national symbols are not inclusive for certain amount of people. But my point is that moving forward, we cannot continue to limit our discussion on the people not being included. What can we do to make this flag matter to every Liberian? Even if they were not included in the flag, say this flag has things in it that matters to every one of us. And I think the interpretation of the flag that you gave on your very introduction means a lot to every Liberian, despite being native or Congo. So moving forward, let us try to inform our audience how can we have this flag to matter to every Liberian. Because if we base on inclusive, not inclusive, we not achieve the purpose of the discussion. So that's my point here.
Oh, now we lost our Beulah. Satta, are you there? Go ahead, Youben.
Yes. So I'm here.
All right.
I'm
Beulah,
here.
let me go to Beulah before she goes off again. She's been kind of little quiet. Beulah, come in, please. Beulah, are you there?
Yeah, I've been off and on because I think, are you getting me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can get you.
So the problem here is, when here, the problem here isn't about the history, right? About who or what happened when the flag was made. I think that the flag was made for Liberians so that we can appreciate our Liberianness and to represent the fact that we are free and independent people, right? Liberia, like I said, without the importance or representations of the symbols of Liberia, the flag will be but just a cloth. So people will not want to die for just a cloth. We want to die for Liberia, for a nation that they feel that they belong to. So I believe the problem here is that we are not taught how important Liberia is to us, or even where we come from, or our history, or how Liberia is important to Africa. Because if we know how important Liberia is to us, or how important Liberia is to Africa, represents Liberia, whether people, American Liberians, are created, and we have lost our culture because we are not being taught the importance of who we are, be it in school or in our families. Because, like John said, it's a train up a child in the way that he should go, not grow, and when he's old, he'll not depart from it. But at a particular point in time, when we are kids, we are not taught the importance of who we are. That is why even in Liberia, we don't even have a single language that identifies us. And you'll know that a lot of us, even here on the group chat, can't even speak our dialects. Why? Because we believe that why you need to identify who I am. So the fact that we can identify with who we are and we can believe that Liberia is all we have, I believe that we'll respect the flag. And when I be walking on one flag, I don't have time for that flag. And if we respect Liberia and if we believe in Liberia, I believe that for a fact that a lot of things will be minimized, like corruption. We will volunteer our services, not because we believe in a piece of cloth, but because we believe in a nation and we believe that we are free. So everywhere we go, we'll write our Liberianness on our face, we'll let it show, and we will be the best Liberians that we can be because we believe in Liberia. And once we believe in Liberia, we believe in every symbol that she holds. This is exactly what about history of what we've been. It's about where we're going. And if we continue to dwell on the fact that who made what and when it was made, will not progress. And we just continue to talk the story of how people
You're right,
made
never
the flag,
bad. So
but
I'm
they
thinking
made it,
getting
it's
all the
already made. So
conversation.
what do we do now?
All right.
I
So,
get to you guys.
yeah, Beulah is, we're getting you a little bit, but what I'm getting is we don't have to dwell on the past. What can we do now? And the major thing that I'm hearing is education, because a lot of people don't know about the flag because they've not been taught either at home or at school. Let me bring in a caller to the discussion. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Thank you very much. My name is Merlinson Yadulo, calling from New Jersey.
Mr. Yadulo, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Your question or comment?
Thank you. I do not have a question. I just want to come in to make some input. You know, I follow their analysis talking about inclusiveness and stuff like that. When we dwell on inclusiveness, a lot of people in Liberia, even including me, I'm from Nimene County. I would say I'm not included in the flag because Liberia flag has three colors, red, white, and blue. And the history says the three colors on our flag represent the three original counties into which Liberia was then divided at that time. How many counties do we have now in Liberia? We got 15 counties.
Yeah.
Creation of the newer counties before 1964. The only counties that are represented on our flag originally, one is Grand Bassa, Mosurado, and one other county, and those were the counties on the sea coast. That where the settlers settled. So by 1964, Tommy, upon Grandville and other places in the hinterland. So when we talk about inclusiveness, it means we are not included in the flag. So we don't have to dwell on this.
They agree.
We argue this, it means we have to remake the flag. Is that necessary?
So what does the flag mean to you?
The flag is a symbol of any other in the world, like ours. It's a symbol of our country. It's a symbol of our independence.
Thank you.
Our history said the day we declared independence on July 26, 1847. We hosted United States flag because we didn't have our own flag. On July 26, 1847, we hosted United States flag. Which country in the world we use their own? We use other country flag on their country birthday. They did create themselves and announce to the world that they are independent. Only we did. Until 1 month after that, in August, we copied the United States flag. And the people that came to Liberia, the settlers, it was through them that everything about Liberia began to be written. It was on their arrival that Liberia history started, Liberia history began to be recorded. From January 22, 1847. Before that time, little or nothing was known about Liberia. So it was through them that our new Liberia all began to be created. Our capital city, Monrovia, named after James Monroe, 5th president of the United States. You go to Nimene or you go to Sano County, the capital city is Greenville. Greenville is a city here in South Carolina and North Carolina. Maryland State here is named after Maryland County, Liberia, Virginia. Everything was put with them to Liberia.
Right.
Copy everything for you and carry with them. One time I was driving to Virginia.
So you can conclude.
Virginia, then I came across Paul River in the broad daylight. I said, what? So this is where Paul River came from.
Yeah. All right.
See? So everything they don't carry to Liberia, they brought it for years. So we cannot, because it does not include us or it does not reflect us. Once it represents the country Liberia that we all accept that it is our country where we were born, where our even grandparents were born, and we were born. We have to accept everything that comes along with it.
Thank you.
Even when you look at the pledge,
let me
pledge of allegiance.
Oh, Mr. Yadulo.
That is missing in that thing is honor God.
Mr. Yadulo.
We say the United States is in Nigeria.
Mr. Yadulo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can conclude now. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. Appreciate your comment. All right. So here is the thing. Let's go back. As John said, the history. So before even.
So I was saying, like, can I come in?
Okay, go ahead, Beulah.
Can I come in?
Go ahead.
You guys say you're not getting. You say you're not getting exactly what I was saying.
We hear you, Beulah. We hear you.
Go ahead, Beulah. We heard what you said. You have additional points, then go ahead.
Oh, you wanna? No, I told you didn't get my points. That was what I was trying to.
No, I was saying, I'm sure you didn't get all the points we mentioned because we were talking about similar thing about, it's not about the history, we see like the flag is inclusive because a lot of people fought for what we have today, be it American Liberians or the native Liberians.
And I follow your point exactly because I was watching your live even while not on the internet with the video chat. So I got us who on this program. I don't believe that we should dwell in the past. It's important to know our history, to know where we come from. And that's one thing that Liberia hasn't been really clear on historians, because a lot of people have different perspective for what Liberian history was. You read one book, they have another definition of Liberian history. You read another one, they have another story to tell you. You read another one, they have another
because
story
a lot,
to
Beulah, I'm not cutting you off. A lot of these things that are written about Liberia, be it on Google or whatever, some of them are different people trying to tell our story. If we as Liberians can take ownership of our own story and start to tell our story, people will not come and read our story for us. Like the quarter mentioned something about the stories of people before the independence were not mentioned. So, I mean, that's the thing. Education over the years has been the problem. Not many people are educated.
Satta, let Beulah finish. Go ahead, Beulah.
That's what I was trying to say, right? So we have experience. So that's why sometimes we don't feel like we belong, because one minute you hear the other story, another minute you hear another story. But the fact that whether or not the story tells us that we are included in the making of the flag, I believe the one as it represents Liberia, we should believe in that flag. Because if we're saying like the caller said in his point, if we're saying that because only 3 color on the flag, so the other people are not included, and what are we standing for? I believe that people can start to believe in the flag of Liberia. We need to start to believe in the nation Liberia itself, and the believing in the nation Liberia doesn't start from the grassroots. It starts from families. It starts from schools. It starts from churches. It starts from everywhere we can think about. We need to preach the message of Liberianness so that we can believe in Liberia. So that whenever we are asked about Liberia, we can be proud to say that we are Liberians, not hiding our faces or anything like that when the name Liberia is mentioned in a conversation, anything like that. That is what I've been trying to say. So what I have been trying to say here is that
thank you.
The only way that we can believe in the flag is if we believe in Liberia as a nation.
Thank you.
Stop laughing.
Youben, what are you laughing for?
Hello? It's a jar.
Yeah.
And now declare this not inclusive conversation closed. Nobody should go on that anymore because I know that is going to
all right.
On how we can make Liberians to be better Liberians. And I have a proposal to make that way so that the people can have a better understanding of what the flag means to them as Liberians. What we have to do, what I recommend that you read long throughout kindergarten and primary school, like from kindergarten up to 6th grade or 3rd grade, there should be a strong education system where there will be civic education where people will be taught the significance of the flag to them as Liberians and the significance of the country to them as a people, so that they can have the country implanted in their heart. And all through high school, there should be better education for young people who will be leaving to come into the society, to have a clearer picture of to have a sense of belonging, a clearer picture of what the flag means to them and the country. If that is being done, those people who will leave school and go into government office or other places, the private sector, you will not have government officials leaving from Liberia to go to a hospital in Ghana or to go to the other things in other countries, but they will work towards building the country and making Liberia better because they have a sense of belonging. So then them, they will not go out there to see other things, but they would rather bring those things in Liberia because they want it to be a better place. And even if not everybody, and if that education system is being put in place, not everybody will believe that if I don't sit in office, if I'm not the chief, or if I'm not the head person in charge, I cannot make a decision. Because as Beulah rightly said from the beginning, the country or us being Liberians, it doesn't tie, it's not tied around that piece of cloth, but it is of having a sense of belonging to the country. So we have to instill into the minds of our children. Parents teach their children, the schools teach the children, the society teach the children, and that way we can all be able to become better Liberians and have a better Liberia. That's my recommendation.
Thank you. John, before you come in.
Okay. Mr. John, let me come in.
Yeah, before you come in, I want to read one comment from Facebook from Mark K. Mixer. He says, regardless, I agree with each of you or not, I must admit that I appreciate all of your efforts. Such as this conversation is a part of civic education, and it should be in all radio stations, but especially in the classroom. Bravos, ladies and gentlemen. John?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, John, we're having a issue there. Let me read another comment from Dave Jar. He says, sadly, those placed in areas of responsibilities have been very lazy in providing solutions to the problems they were asked to solve. Long ago, those historical false starts would have been corrected by now. There is a lack of goodwill on the part of some Liberians and succeeding leaders. We have to rectify those symbols and correct the false history to have a functioning and enabling society. Satta, so we have identified, or the panel, you have identified that the issue here is so how do we move forward? How do we solve the problem that you have identified, for which a lot of people do not see the flag to be what it is? What can we do about that? Satta?
I'm not getting you. You are very low.
All right. You have anything to say about what do we do moving forward?
Yes. Moving forward, I feel like I said earlier, education is very important at this point in time, and civics should be reintroduced in primary and secondary schools across the country. So the Ministry of Education needs to do more. I think. Say that?
Go ahead.
Okay. I think the Ministry of Education and the committee or whatever authority we have on higher education needs to again include civics in the national curriculum so that students or children that tend to come from primary school or better still go to secondary school can have a better understanding about the flag, about basic things and information about Liberia, because I mean respect and having more information about Liberia is one of the fundamental things that we need to know before we can be considered, or before we as a person can say, oh, I'm a patriotic Liberian. You will consider yourself patriotic when you have more understanding, when you have more education about it. So again, like the Ministry of Cultural Affairs and Tourism, I think they should be having more programs and side attractions that are really beautiful places in Liberia that we need to, put out there and design programs and stuff. And as much as we start doing these things, our flag will be out there. Like the airfield, the police. I mean, I know when I was coming up, like I'm not old, but I remember I was coming up in YMCA. There was this thing about anytime we go to school, whenever they're putting the flag up, even though it took like just a few years later on and it stopped, people will stop as long you are walking. People will stop along the way, and then they will make sure we salute the flag, sing, the pledge and the allegiance and everything at the end of the day. And then before people start walking, we'll all salute, be straight and stuff like that. But these days, you find out that whenever they're putting the flag up, people are walking and stuff like that, because we're not having more conversations about these things. So I go with what the person said about the comments, that some of these conversations that we're having is important, but again, authorities that are concerned, like the Ministry of Education, like the AFL, the police, they must take the lead, and encourage more people. And because if they start to practice it, other people will start to practice it as well. And all of us here having these conversations are like the next generation of parents, so that 2, 5, or 10 years from now, when we have our own kids, we can say to our children that this is what the flag means. It means freedom, it means courage, hope, and everything for Liberia. And I just hope that we will never give up. We'll continue to have this conversation and say to people that no Liberian is more Liberian than the other, and everyone is included in that flag. The flag is not, divisive or whatever. It doesn't exclude anyone. It's our flag because a blood was shed for it. We have a unique history that we need to take ownership of. And I think people like that, Reverend Imaya Buya, should be people that we should continue to, ask questions. And if possible, if maybe we can reread or rebrand what we have as a country, it will be like a real good help, because there's some information Reverend Buya have that a lot of us are not aware of. And there are some informations that needs, to be in a classroom that students and children need to hear, and all these things. So it's important. Let's continue to have the conversation. We should never give up, and we should continue to read our own story instead of foreigners coming and saying, oh, I want to do a documentary about Liberia. We Liberians, photographers, poets like Beulah, writers, and other people, like activists like me, whenever we do something or go out to represent Liberia, we should be proud of what we have, and we should be bold and say it out there. So yes, that's just what I have to say as a way forward. I mean, it's important that we all get involved.
Thank you. And
So,
Hello?
I'm coming. John, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry for my connection. I'm having problems with the electricity. But moving forward, like I said, we should not try to leave history out of the discussion, because history is very important, like the Quran said. But what I don't want us to do is to base a lot on the historical facts and the problem. I think it's important to identify a problem before you recommend solution to solve the problem. So it's good that we established that we've had this problem of people accepting the national symbols and other things. People have complained about these national symbols, but that should not be the focus of our arguments. I think our point here, like our previous panelists said, is moving forward. How can we make this play to be a better thing that every Liberian can see it to be? Like, how do we inculcate in our students, our young people, the older ones, our citizens, how to reflect national symbol and understand how to be patriotic to our state? So that is how we can go about it. And one of the ways to do it is that we have to reevaluate our education system. We have to put our education system on the pedestal. If I say education system, I'm not just referring to going to school. No, we have to look at the training skills we see for their families, what they are taught at
Sorry,
home.
I just want to make this clear. My phone is about to go off. It been charging by Lola, ain't been charging now 1%. So if it go off, you're sorry.
So it's important that we evaluate our education system from the very beginning of parents being at home. So parents listening to this program should find themselves in a guilty position. You should ask yourself this question: have I taught my kids or my child what is the meaning of the flag to them? We should ask this question. And going now to the school where the kids spend most of their time, our education system should be like we have to do something to see how best to have a vibrant system. And that should be a system that Sister Youben said, who is a veteran of service in your high school. These are things that should be taught, and the students, they should understand, they should be taught what is the meaning of these national symbols, and they should be taught patriotism. I believe patriotism can be taught, and they should have a sense of understanding of what they are pledging allegiance to. You cannot just say, I love the Liberian flag, I love the sea, when you don't know the meaning of these things. So we must embrace the flag, we must embrace the sea, we must embrace every national symbol, most especially the flag. Because take for example, where I am studying now to conclude in Morocco, if you leave from my house and go out there, every house and business center has the flag of Morocco posted there with the picture of the king. Everywhere in Morocco. So I've done a study and I've concluded that most nations that have their flag posted everywhere, that pay allegiance to national symbol, most of those nations we have today are nations that are progressing. So there's a link between respect for national symbol and patriotism, and we must identify that link. We must put the puzzle together as a country moving forward. We must teach people to understand what is the meaning of the flag. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a caller on the line. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Okay, this is Wallo. Actually, I was born and raised in Blanco. My father from.
Thank you, Wallo. Your question or comment?
Okay, so we came from Sino, and my mother is from Nimene. But actually, this is a very important topic. I just want you to respect this topic. I want you to respect people. You will have the answer. They can solve this problem. Don't let the old Liberian people come in and bring their ideology, that this and that, the people they put there on the flag and this and that. If they should have done something, they should have done it in the past. They didn't do anything about it. I must say I studied civics. I graduated from Carroll High School. I studied civics. But the young people now, they are the people that would change the system.
Thank you.
The old people, what they're talking about, we don't understand why they didn't change it now. They stay talking about it. When the people, made a flag, there were indigenous people there. Why they didn't, bring their idea until now people want to talk about it.
All
The
right.
flag represents every Liberian.
Thank
Every
you.
Liberian should respect the flag, okay?
Thank you.
That's what I want to say.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, sir. Bye.
Youben, they love you, I mean.
They left me.
Okay, let me read this, and we are about to conclude. I will come to you for all your final statements, and then we can conclude. But before that, let me read this comment from Catherine Ama. It said, the interpretation we have of the flag is the only reason we react the way we do towards the flag. Why do you think a ragged up flag will be hosted by police officers in the front of a police depot only because the government hasn't changed it? That's because they don't know what the flag means to them as a people. Let's reinterpret the flag that everyone feel included and not divided. So we are almost up, and I was about to ask you for your final comments so that we can conclude the program. But the others, I hope when they come in, they too can give their final comment. But it's been a very beautiful discussion. Let me hear what your final thoughts.
Okay, firstly, one of the guys made a comment, and I agree with him, but then there's a little problem there. He said that people in higher position, people who were given the opportunity to make decisions.
We're not hearing you. You are in and out.
Are you getting me now?
Yeah.
Is it better?
A little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, so I said I agree with one of the people who made a comment. He said those who are in higher authority, but however, I think we should try to do away with that for other people to do. Like I said, I believe in making it being a change that I want to see. So we shouldn't wait for those in higher authority to to do it because they are not doing it. So if we start teaching our children, if you as a person start teaching your kids the significance of the flag and the importance of having a sense of belonging to the nation, and I as a big sister teach my little sibling and teach my friends and teach other people, I think that's another way, that's another remedy that we can put in place. And also there are radio stations and shows like this one rather. If it hadn't been for this show, I wouldn't have even been pushed to do a better research or to have a clearer understanding of the flag and my loyalty to the country. So I think shows like this should be put in place so that people can teach their children. And even the person who made the comment there, my brother, you can also teach your children, you can teach your friends. The point is people should start teaching the younger ones to see the flag of Liberia as a sense of pride to our nation. That we should be proud that it is not just about us as a people, it is not just about the flag, but it is about the country. That we should have a sense of belonging to the country because that's the only place that we truly have as a home. We can go anywhere else, but we will not be welcome as compared to be in Liberia. So I think everybody should take a stand. It's a fight that everyone should join. Everybody should take a stand, teach your children, teach your siblings, teach your friends, so that they have a better understanding. And meanwhile, the government should also enforce the civics education in various schools so that people can have a broader idea of what the flag means to us as Liberians. That's just it.
Thank you. And by the way, we had a little book that include all our important documents, starting with the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Pledge of Allegiance, the National Anthem, Lone Star Forever, those kind of things, which can be at least a starting point to kind of explaining those things, because as you all stated correctly, start with education. John, let's hear your final thoughts as we conclude the program.
Thank you again. I want to say thank you to our panelists, the sisters. They are very, very, very much inclined to the subject. And like they have all said, I think we are all in unity on one thing. We are unanimously advocating for civic education and the need for these things to be taught in the home. But you see, Liberia has a syndrome as a country that everyone is waiting for a person in authority or someone who is in flashy car to start moving policies before these policies can reach the ground root. But what I want to say moving forward is that see it as your responsibility. Let us stop shaping blame and say, oh, this is the president who should do this is the president. No, the family is a very important component of the society. For you to just sit and say, oh, the government should do this, start with yourself. If you want to be the change, if you want to see change, start with the man in the mirror. That was what Michael Jackson said. So look in the mirror and start with the man in the mirror. Be the change you want to see, Mahatma Gandhi. So if you want to see Liberia symbols being respected and adored by its citizens, teach your children how to respect it first. And they will go and teach another one, and that one will teach another one. And by that means, we can get this issue about respecting our national symbols across the table. So concluding, we should see it as a responsibility. And like you said, these books are very good. As the kids are learning the ABC book, you buy them the books so they can know. Many of the kids.
All right. We seem to be losing John again, but it's been a very fruitful discussion tonight. This is the beginning. We at Focus on Liberia, we are glad to be part of this thing so that people, these things, this conversation is, we continue to have this kind of conversation, and we are glad to be part of it so that we can all learn to be able to better represent our country. The Flag Day is coming, and as we be hosting the flag and having celebration to commemorate Flag Day, we want this video to serve as some form of information so that you know and appreciate the flag of Liberia and what it means. On Wednesday, we're going to have our first economic forum. We're going to be talking about the challenges and the prospects for Liberia economic and growth and development. Then on Sunday, we're going to be hosting two distinguished personality who will be dealing with class structures in Liberia. We at Focus on Liberia, we try our best to educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberian. You can check us up on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also continue to share the video and watch us on Facebook. Once again, Youben and the rest of your colleagues, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Young and bright Liberian students, we really, really appreciate you. And I'm very proud of all of you and what you are doing. Even the things that you have already done at this young age, I'm very, very proud of you and want to encourage you to continue. We